Today on Coach's Corner, we have four-time state champ Coach Dantzler. So, Coach, tell us your name and who you are and what school you represent.
Well, I'm Coach Darnell. I'm the head basketball coach at Emerson High School. I've been over at Emerson for this will be my 19th year. I've been coaching overall for about 27 years, but 19 is the head varsity coach over at Emerson High School.
Okay. So, we found out that you have a whopping record of 404 wins to 78 losses.
Right.
So we like to give you kudos for that, Coach.
Well, thank
We
you.
know that takes a lot of work. 4 or 5 wins, we know takes a lot of work. You have a few championships under your belt. But I want to kind of start over from the beginning.
Okay.
I want to touch into not Coach Dantzler, but Lord Darnell.
Okay.
Let's go into Lord Darnell. So this game that you love, that you've been putting all this time into, 19 years in the community, what was the beginning, if you can remember for you, your introduction to basketball?
My introduction to basketball, I was about 7. And what a lot of people didn't realize, the first team I ever played with was the Bentley Bombers with Coach Herman. So my brother Tony Dantzler, he played up there. He was playing 10, 12, and that's my big brother. So he grabbed me, took me up there, and my first year I played. So the first year I played 8-10 with Bentlow, and then we moved over East Baltimore, and then I grew up playing in the Bucky League, and then played down there with Coach Sarge down at Madison. But the majority of my career was playing rec ball at Oliver with Coach Bucky Lee, and that's my great mentor, and he's actually the one who started me to coaching.
So we got Coach Herm, we got Sarge, we got Bucky Lee.
Yeah, I've been privileged to have 3 of the best coaches in rec ball coming up that I was a part of their programs.
So you got the sauce.
Yep.
So these things don't happen overnight.
Right.
You've been with these guys since rec ball, then you transitioned on to high school. Let's go into that a little bit. So you said Coach Herm, you said Sarge and Bucky Lee.
Right.
So you spent a little time over with Coach Herman. How long were you over with Coach Bucky Lee?
I was with Coach Herman for a year, my very first year. Then when we moved over east, I was with Coach Bucky from probably when I was about 9 all the way up to high school. Okay. And that's the one thing, going to Dunbar, myself, Paul Banks, Scooter Alexander, Dante Bright-Keith Booth, all of us played together at Oliver, and we stayed together and just went and ended up going down Dunbar. So I've been playing with those guys since I was like 9 years old. So those are most definitely my guys.
Okay. So young Darnell was an Oliver Owl.
Yes.
Okay. See, that's some history that, even though like I said, you my big homie, I didn't even have that information. I thought you was 100% West Baltimore, born and bred, and I thought that you stayed up under Coach Herm. So that's great. Moving on into high school. Let's go into a little bit of that. You say you Keith Booth and those guys. If we know a little bit about history, at high school, that time you played with some historical guys,
right,
on some historical teams,
yep,
and even under an historical coach as well.
Yeah, Coach P. Pompey was our coach. So myself, Cyrus Jones, Diego, Paul Banks, Mike Lloyd, Dante Bright, Scooter, Big Marvin, Ahmed Childs, all of us was on that one team. And like I said, the normal grind of playing against those guys every day, at practice was like a war. And that's how it was. So, Coach Pompey was our head coach. He used to go Maroon versus gold, and we used to get it in.
Coach Pompey. Rest in peace, Coach Pompey.
Yeah, rest in peace, Coach.
So, just to back up one step, we all have that coach, and you said more than likely for you it will be Coach Bucky. Right. So we would call that guy our sensei.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay, so give us just a brief story about your sensei, how, your first introduction to him, how you met him, and how, he impacted you at a young age.
I'm glad that you asked that question because even to this day, I do everything. People say I coach like Bucky. That's my coaching style. And the mentor, the man that he raised all of us to be, I was scared of him at first because he was very strict on discipline. And he wasn't for all the fancy stuff. I mean, make sure you use your left hand and all those type of stuff. Fundamentally sound. And he was a true gentleman, true father, cuss you out when you need it, but he also give you the encouragement when you need it as well. So Bucky, he put that in me, and then I also played a couple of years down there with Coach Sarge down in Madison, and Coach Sarge put the aggressiveness in you, and just no matter what, you want to play as hard as you can play, and you always got to be ready to run through a brick wall for Coach Bucky, Coach Sarge, and that's how they raise us, just to be hard and to help you in life, because no matter what, the discipline is there, being able to work well with your teammates and stuff like that, and then you win, and you win it on top of it. So it's a great all the way around.
Okay. When you first walked in the gym at Oliver, tell me about that experience.
A lot of people don't realize when I first walked in Oliver, the first person I had to guard was Buttons, Antonio Freeman. And people don't realize he's an NFL player, but he was just as good in basketball. So playing against Buttons and Jermaine Davis, what we call Dirty Rice, and George Rakes and all those guys, those are my guys. And the battles that we had up there, I was nervous walking in, but once Bucky cuss you out a couple of times, and then you understand what he needs. But like you said, Bucky prepared you for the game. Practice was harder than the games, so he prepared you for the games, and that filtered in and prepared you for life. So when I first got there, I had the wars with Buttons and all those guys, and we still friends to this day.
Let's move back to your Dunbar days.
Okay.
Your freshman year at Dunbar, how did that go?
My freshman year, I actually played 10-12 at Oliver, and then went straight to JV. So I never played 12-14. So because my birthday is late in the year, so I was 12 years old going into high school. So my first year, I made JV. I was the starting point guard, and it was tough because back then 11th graders was playing JV. So I'm in there, the young buck, but I came in, disciplined from playing for Bucky. So I made the team, and we did real well. We ended up losing to Lake Clifton in the championship my 9th grade year. And then once I got to my 10th grade year, Mike Lloyd, Paul Banks, and all those guys came. We went undefeated 10th grade, and then we just started rolling from there.
So 12, 13-year-old little Darnell. Mm-hmm. Led straight from Bucky Lee Kent,
rec ball of high school.
Led his guys to the chip.
Yep.
Man, we getting more legend than we knew. Getting more legend than we knew. So 10th grade we go undefeated. We run through everybody.
Yep. 10th grade JV we go undefeated.
Leave no smoke.
Nope.
We get to our junior year. What happens that year?
Junior year, our whole JV moved up to varsity, and we lost it was funny, we lost to my brother Tony Dantzler and Southern. They beat us in 90 in the championship down the Metro Classic, and then we came back and beat the championship in 91.
If memory serves me right, Southwestern, that team that you speak of, was undefeated.
No, the Southwestern, that undefeated Southwestern team came a couple of years later.
Okay.
A couple of years later. See, I'm an old head. I graduated in 91.
Yes, sir.
My brother Terrell was on the undefeated Southwestern team with Pooh Bear, and I think that was like 97.
Right, Pooh Bear.
That was Pooh Bear now.
Right. Okay. So that team, your junior year, what was the end result?
We lost in the championship to Southern. That
Okay, yeah,
was
Southern, right.
yeah, but my brother Tony won MVP of that game.
Right. Okay. Okay. Shout out to Coach Tony. And the senior year, was Booth with you?
Yeah, senior year, we pretty much ran through the entire.
Right.
Yeah, we was in 2 years, my senior year and Mike Lloyd and them senior year. In 2 years, we won like 61-1. We only lost the one game to St. Anthony's up in New Jersey.
Okay.
But they went. Darnell won the national championship that next year. So, we ran through everybody for.
Who did that St. Anthony's team have?
That was Roger Groves, Danny Hurley, and all those guys.
Okay. So some big names on that team as well.
Yep.
So I remember that next year, Keith Booth going to Maryland, doing some things, everybody loving him, everybody knowing him. I was a young buck at that time.
Right.
I'm just being able to get the remote is just a good thing. Dad ain't home, let me get the remote. Oh, yeah, we still at work. Okay, we get to see Maryland. So we hear about, some of my memories and history from you guys kind of got to get backtracked.
Okay.
You know how it is with a young guy. He hears about the older guy.
Yep.
So he see him, you just a guy I see, you just like me, just a little bigger, got his hoodie on, But they say, man, you don't know that's him.
Yeah.
And I say, for real? That's my guy. And I see him around. I'm like, oh, what's up, homie? And he say, oh, what's up, young fella? And they say, man, that's that guy.
Yeah.
So like I said, the history for a young guy always gets backtracked.
Right.
It more so starts as the big homie in the neighborhood or the big homie around. Well, we're not from the same hood, but I may see you at Lake. I may see you throughout the city.
Yep.
And there's always, a mutual respect.
There's always love when we see each other.
So again, moving forward with that season, once you guys went on to win it that year, what was, post high school like?
Post high school, I went to Baltimore City Community College, CCB with Coach Roger. When I was up there with Brian Brooks and those guys, and I always joke when I see Brooks because Brooks went to Southwestern and we played Allegheny. Allegheny was ranked #1 in the country, and we beat them. And we're in the locker room after the game, and to this day, me and Brooks and Warren Wright, Droopy, and we all joke about it. All them in there crying. And I'm looking at them. I'm the young buck. I'm 17 years old, but I'm in college with them. And I'm looking at them. They all crying. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? They was like, yo, we just won. I said, I'm used to winning. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, y'all emotional but I come from a winning tradition. We done won all my life. So for me to get in there and mix it up with the guys from Allegheny, and they was ranked #1 in the country, once we beat them, I was like, it is what it is. I didn't played in front of big crowds and guys that can really play. But when you got to deal with, when we used to have the summer basketball down at Dunbar, all the former alum will come back. So one day I'm playing against Muggs. The next day I'm playing against Mutto. The next day I'm playing against Kirk Lee and all those Mike Brown and all those guys. So it's nothing a guy my age can do to me that Muggs and all those guys ain't gonna do to you. So that's the normal grind of when you playing in the tradition, playing at Dunbar. That's just how things happen. So when just to go to college, playing at CCB under Coach Raj, I learned a whole lot. And he just got inducted to the Towson Hall of Fame. And me, myself, Brooks, and all of us, Poopy, Hamilton, all of us went up there to show him love because he's one of the guys who paved the way for us.
I was supposed to be there.
Yeah,
he paved it for me. I spent 1 year under him, and I love him forever for it.
Yep, that's my guy.
Forever.
Him and Coach Carter come to all my games.
Right. So even with yourself, you would have spent either 1 or 2 years with him.
Yep.
So yeah, Coach, man, shout out to Coach, man.
Yep, that's my guy.
So moving on a little bit back into your coaching career, you've been working with the city kids now, Baltimore City, probably 100% population now for 16 years.
18.
18.
Yeah, 18 over at Amazon.
Right. We started with 19, right?
Right.
I don't know how I did this. I mixed the 6 and the 9. So 19 years. So um, with what would you say um, is the Baltimore grit? Because me being from here, I can understand it. Maybe some people that may see this, they may not. When you understand a kid that has the Baltimore grit, how would you explain that?
Um, a lot of the coaches that come because they always say Baltimore has had the players that have that it factor. We just go hard. You know what I mean? And sometimes just from the normal grind of being in the city, when you take that mentality onto the basketball court, you excel because you struggle so much and you've been through all the hard stuff. So once you get on the basketball court, it becomes easy. And like you said, even when just playing the normal rec ball, playing in normal leagues, or just playing on the playground, I may see you and I know how good you are, and so my whole thing is you're not going to be better than me, and that's just always been our mentality. So we always, I mean, top to bottom, just come in and just play hard. The that always been what people say about the Baltimore City basketball players is that we just play hard all the time.
Um, what would be something that you learned from your playing days that you still use today?
Um, well, what even coming up, just being disciplined, playing smart, playing team ball. I can play one game, and that's what I teach all my players. I can play a game and not shoot the ball and win, but I can play a game and be the leading scorer and win. So my whole thing is to do whatever it takes to win. But then I also defense is always going to be there because there's going to be days where your jump shot might not be working, but your defense got to be there every day, all day. So Bucky Lee, that's the one thing he stressed defense. Like I'm going to get 10 or 15 points, but you're not going to score 10 points on me. So that's what it's all about. It's all about playing defense.
Okay. When did you get your first coaching job?
Ah, and it's funny because Bucky Lee gave me my first coaching job. He called me. He told me when I was younger, he was like, you're going to be a coach when you get older. And, you don't pay no mind and all that type of stuff. But one time, he had 15 under BNBL. It was in two sites. And they put the two sites on the same. Normally, one be on Mondays and Wednesdays, and I went on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Bucky used to run and work both sites. This time, they put both teams in two different sites on the same day. And he called me one day and he said, "I need you to come coach the team for me." And the funny thing is, we won our site, and we ended up making it to the championship for that BNBL. And that was the first team I ever coached. I got it from Bucky.
15. So that was what, 9, 08, or what?
Nah, I might have been 20 years old when Bucky gave me that team.
Okay.
So it was a long time ago.
Okay, we ain't gonna go into the math. We ain't gonna go into the math. We ain't gonna go into the math. Okay. So what would you say shaped your coaching philosophy the most? And what would you say would be your coaching style? Because I'm gonna ask you later about your players, how would they say it, but what would you say your coaching style is?
My coaching style is doing whatever it takes to win. Like I said, defense first. So I'm gonna pressure the ball. We want to make sure we got to make you uncomfortable. So I like the Nolan Richardson, kill him 32 minutes of hell or 40 minutes of hell or stuff like that. So like I said, I promise you, man to man, pressing all over the floor, all that type of stuff. If your defense there, then you're gonna be in every game. And Bucky philosophy, and I live by it today. He used to say all he needs is two people that can play and three people that want to win, and you in every game. The two people that can play gonna keep you in the game, and the three people that want to win gonna do all the intangibles. They're gonna rebound, block shots, dive on the floor for the ball. So if you always keep that mentality, you're gonna be in every game.
When you were before coaching, right? When after high school, what would you consider some of your wins and losses. This is kind of a little personal, so I mean, you know, whatever you can share, but some of your wins and losses that got you, you know, kind of guided you to this point. Right now, man, you one of the top coaches in Maryland. We say Baltimore because we from Baltimore. We know Baltimore. In Baltimore, we got this thing that we say Baltimore is Baltimore. We don't say we from Baltimore, Maryland. We say we from Baltimore, Baltimore.
Right.
But you are one of the top coaches in the state of Maryland.
Oh, thank you.
So, and with that being said, what would you consider your wins or losses?
Well, one of the most personal things, and you know, I talk about it. I don't talk about it a lot, but was when my daughter passed away. She was 21, just graduated from Dell State. She died in a car accident, Diamond Dantzler. So, really, I dedicate everything I do to her, and that's one of the things that my son DJ, when he played for me at Emerson, you know, he took it. It hurt him a lot. But you know, we tried to use that as fire to encourage each other to try to, you know, move on from it. So we'll never forget her. But you know, and that was one of the things that made me dive into DJ a little more, because you know, to lose a child, you got to channel your energy into different things, and I chose to channel my energy and try to stick with DJ. And you know, DJ is doing well. Graduated from high school, 4.0, Player of the Year. 2 years, Baltimore City Player of the Year 2 times, 3-time All Metro first team. Graduated from Emerson with a 4.0. Got a full scholarship at University of DC. So I channeled all my energy into basketball, into him, and to the program, and you know that's we've been rolling from there.
Rest in peace.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to hear that, Coach.
Thanks.
Coach, what's the foundation of your program over at Emerson?
I'm glad you asked that question. Many don't realize the foundation came from myself, my brother Terrell, my assistant coach. You know, he's my assistant coach. He's the head coach on JV, and he's my assistant on varsity, and I'm his assistant when he's coaching JV. We build throughout JV. Terrell has he's done a remarkable job coaching at Emerson. He has won in the 19 years that we've been over there coming up. He's won 10 JV championships. So we build throughout JV, and so it's myself, Coach Terrell, Coach Pat, Coach Steve Hennett, Coach Jeff Young, and then I got a couple of Coach Snook, Coach John, and Coach Chance. And Coach Pat, just building a nucleus and having people around you can trust, build it throughout JV, and you know, just making sure that we stay humble, because like you and I was taught, man, I didn't even realize one time until like last year when the guy said in the last 8 years, we made it to Comcast 7 of those 8 years. I don't realize it because I'm in it. And then when you step away with someone tell you that we have the 4 state championships, and we only one of them we didn't play because of COVID, and then we lost 2 times down at Comcast. That's remarkable. And you know, just for us to have 100% graduation rate, and like last year I had 6 seniors, 5 of them went to college, and then one went to school for his trade. So that's when I feel as though our job is done. You know what I mean? When you getting them in school, getting them to be productive young men, and that's what it's all about.
Yes, sir. We know we have some difficulties in our city dealing with the youth sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were young. You know, we had our influences. Some of the influences that you and I had, they are still around.
Right.
Some of the influence that you and I had are not as strong anymore. They have new influences.
Right.
So there's a whole lot of things that can derail the mindset of the young men that you work with. How do you earn the trust of the athletes?
Just being there for them, and just leading by example and showing them that, you know, You can be a professional. And what I always tell a bunch of the kids, it's cool to be street smart because all of us grew up in the inner city, so we street smart. It's even better to be school smart. But when you got somebody that's school smart and street smart, you can deal with anybody on any level. And so making them come in and wear shirt and ties to the games and all the type of stuff, that's what I mean by raising their expectations. And some of them don't have shirt and ties, so I did what Coach Pompey used to do for us. I got people donate. I got like 50 ties in my office every morning before a game. If you don't have a tie, you come, you sign your name. I give you a tie. You put the tie on. You wear the tie all day. At the end of the day, you bring the tie back. So because it's business, and so just doing those type of things. And the kids, it got to the point where they started competing against each other. Like, oh no, we play late tomorrow, so I know I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna kill them, coach. I'm gonna wear the bow tie. So now they started, they starting to get into it, and they start to like it now, and it makes them feel better about themselves. So there's a bunch of little things that you can try to do just to get the kids thinking and just to get them being positive.
Okay. What would you say makes a player coachable for Coach Dantzler?
You gotta be able to accept discipline and bring home good grades. But I always told DJ coming up, and I raised them to these two things: bring home good grades and be respectful at all times. And we can put out any fires, whatever. So to play for Coach Darnell, you just gotta be able to accept the discipline. You're gonna make a mistake, but I'm gonna be hard on you. And I tell all the kids, I turn into a maniac November the 15th. You may see me out during the day. Hey, what's up, coach? And I'm cool. November the 15th, when a light bulb goes off, that switch hits. Now it's all about business. And what the kids do realize is, I'm gonna, even in this time where I gotta break you down, but I know me breaking you down, I know with my coaching staff that we always gotta build you back up.
How do you keep your players motivated through some of the tough stretches that they have? In their youth and they're coming up. Maybe they could have some situations at home that I know you've encountered in those 404 wins.
Well, you would be surprised of some of the stuff that these young men go through. One of the good things is we are just older versions of them. So we've been through a lot of the things they've been through. So what I do is I surround them with the right type of men. All the men that on my coaching staff, all of them are husbands. They working hard. They graduated from high school, graduated from college. So, and we all are products of Baltimore City. So there's nothing these kids have been through that we ain't seen and have been through. So we just try to make sure. I always tell them I'm never gonna try to be your father, but I'm always gonna be your big uncle. So whenever you need something, we've raised young men. And what I learned to do is I raised my expectations of them. So when Baltimore City dropped their GPA to a 2.0, and to a 60 was passing, then a lot of people lowered their expectations. I didn't do that. I raised mine. So, like right now, I got 13 kids on my varsity basketball team. 11 of them got a 3.0 or higher. So I got all of them shooting for 4.0s. So they're going to automatically cover the 2.0. So I would hate when kids come to me and say, Coach, I passed all my classes. I'm like, what you get? I got a 60, a 65, and a 63. That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. So we can't lower our expectations. We got to keep raising them. And as we raise them, the kids, one or two going to fall through the cracks. But if you got all of them shooting for being productive, then you're going to succeed. So we go through the normal grind of what the kids go through. All we try to do is try to be there for them. But the one thing I do know, if you keep them busy, then they don't get into any situations. Like, for example, I run study hall. School get out at 3. Study hall is from 3 to 4:30, and we feed them. So that's no excuse that I'm hungry. So you know what I mean. So then from 4:30 to 6:30, they playing basketball, and by the time practice is over, they so tired they gonna take a bath, go home, they get something to eat or whatever, and then they ready for school the next day. So you got to remove their obstacles out of their way to help them to succeed. So as long as you keep them busy and keep them occupied, then they tend not to get in trouble.
What do you consider a heart of a champion?
A heart of a champion is doing whatever it takes to win, making sacrifices. If you used to scoring 20 points a game, and you might not have 7 points, but you did whatever it took to win. You sacrificed your scoring to play defense. So that's what the heart of a champion is. Willing to do whatever it takes for your team to succeed. That's the heart of a champion.
What's the biggest misconception about coaching?
Oh, the biggest misconception is probably that, probably the money aspect of it. If you realize the type of stipend that we get paid to do what we do, for this to be like I'm dealing with these kids 365. I put them in summer leagues, fall leagues, and stuff like that. I even had a couple of parents fussed at me about yesterday because I had them practicing on Thanksgiving, and like I told them, we practice every day except Sunday, so and Christmas. But yeah, if your son ain't in there helping you cook, he need to come to practice, and after he finish practice, he can go home and eat and do what he gotta do from there. So the biggest misconception is the time, the effort, and all sometimes you even neglect your own kids when you are sitting there doing as much for the kids, and that's what made me get DJ so involved in basketball, because there was times where I didn't see my own son, and I was like, well, my wife used to be like on Saturdays, oh no, he got to go to the gym with you, so DJ just started being in the gym with me. But yeah, the sort of time that you put in, a lot of people don't see it. They just see game day. They don't see the preparation and the time and effort that gets put in.
19 seasons in, Coach.
Yep.
What season was the turning point season for you?
My first year at Emerson, we won a JV championship, and my varsity, we made it to the regional championship. But then the next year with Stanton Kidd and Pee Wee and those guys, we won the city championship. We beat Josh Selby now, man. Every time Josh see me, he's still, and that's what people don't realize how, and you know how it is, how basketball will change your life. And you will remember everything you did since you was 8 years old, the games you played and the camaraderie with guys. So Josh, every time he see me, because we ended up beating Lake by 1 that year, and I think Josh had like 51 points, so like 49 points that game. He straight out killed us, but we ended up beating him in overtime. And to this day, when he see me, he always elbow me like, Coach, I can't believe y'all beat us. So, that's what, just everything that goes on with basketball is honestly, I don't think I can live if I wasn't involved in basketball.
I feel you, Coach. What would you say, what was your proudest moment as a coach?
My proudest moment was coaching my son in high school. That was my proudest moment, and because everything that he'd accomplished, and never did I think in my years that he would have came in and did the things he did when he got to high school. And he took a lot of flack because people will think it's the coach's son. And I remember my brother Terrell came to me when DJ was coming up Emerson, and he said, "Do you think you're gonna be able to draw the line between father and coach?" And I said, "Yeah." And sometimes I know I was even harder on him, but just for him to flourish, and sometimes just sit back and just watch him and be like, "Yeah, he killing," and just for the things that he becomes. Like I said, he was first team All Metro 3 years in a row, and Baltimore City Player of the Year, Scholar Athlete of the Year for the school. He ran track, ran a regional championship in track, and then one year I had to coach baseball because the baseball coach had got sick. So I took over the baseball team. I had 8 of my basketball players play baseball. DJ was one of them, and we ended up winning the regional championship in baseball. So and then for him to finish with a 4.0 GPA. So that's my proudest moment, is to see DJ flourish. And like now I'm a dad. So tomorrow I got a scrimmage this is how my life revolves around basketball. So tomorrow we got a scrimmage, and then after the scrimmage, I got to leave and drive to UDC because he plays Bowie tomorrow. And then I put the dad hat on, and now I'm a cheerleader. You know what I mean? So it's just remarkable just to see what he's accomplished. So that's my biggest moment.
Okay, that's big as a dad. I know. I hear some coaches say that they don't want to coach their son. It's hard. It's tough. Just like you said, Coach Terrell asked you, would you be able to draw the line? Early on when he first came, how was that dynamic?
It was difficult at first. But to be honest with you, one of the fellow coaches who helped me out was Coach Tree. Coach Tree helped me out a lot because Coach Tree's son played for him, and he and I talked about like I said, defining that line on what you being a father and being a coach, and and people don't realize how close Coach Tree and I have gotten. That Coach Tree was the head coach of the McDonald's All-American game, and then he picked me to be his assistant up there. So, the bond that we have, it was so many similarities because Tree played at Dunbar, I played at Dunbar, and then he running his own program at Lake Clifton. I'm running my own program at Emerson, and he, like I said, he's always been a mentor to me. And I want Coach Tree to win every game except for when he played me. You know what I mean? And that's how it's been.
Respect. So, we have a segment, Coach, that we say, I would do anything to beat them SOBs. Come on, Coach. You know what time it is, man. Go ahead, tell them, man. I want you to point to the camera and let them know. I would do anything to beat these SOBs, and then you say who the SOBs are.
Well, the crazy thing is, for the last 2 years, we've been undefeated in the city. So we've been beating people. I would do anything. One of the things I would really want is for us to compete against the Catholic League. And because some people, they automatically think that the Catholic League is so much better than the public school. Now, I understand the dynamics. They play more games and stuff like that, but I would love to mix it up because sometimes we do play them. Some of the games been close. So I would love for it to be back how it was when we was in school when they had the old MSA. So the old MSA, Calvert Hall, Towson Catholic, Mount St. Joe, Gibbons and all those guys, we were all in one conference. So we played everybody 2 times a year. So if I could do anything, I would want it to go back to that.
So you would want to beat those Catholic SOBs.
Yeah, I would want
Catholic school.
Yeah, we would have to.
Okay, go and let the people know. If I could do anything.
I would want to get at some of them Catholic League SOBs because they keep thinking they better than everybody. So we would have to get it in with them so we can mix it up so we can prove it on the court.
Yes, sir. All right, so we probably got 1 or 2 more questions.
That's fine.
On this last one, we're going to let Coach Buck know how we feel. We've heard a lot about one in particular coach today. Coach, who would you say, on paper officially, so that we all can know, would be your sensei?
All right, my sensei is Coach Bucky Lee, Oliver. Coach Bucky, William Bucky Lee. Love you to death. Rest in peace. Everything I've done is strictly because what you've taught me, you, Mr. Hillary, and everybody up at Oliver, the way y'all treated us, raised us as young men, and I just want to salute you. I still run all your plays to the set, and they still named the same thing. I didn't change a thing. So, Bucky, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate everything you did for me.
All right. One last question, good brother.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got 2 more. Okay. We're gonna go with this first. When you hang it up, right? We can say what it's going to be right now. I think you're on your way to a gold jacket. But what would you want your legacy to be?
That's a good question. My legacy, and you and I talked about this before. I didn't realize everything we accomplished until it's in black and white. For us to have so many, to have 18, 21 seasons, just to change these young men's lives and to have them succeed. Even every Thanksgiving, my former players come back and we have and they come scrimmage. They come scrimmage my current team, and just to see the guys that are now doctors and principals and professionals, for them to come lawyers and for teachers, and for them to come back and say, Coach, if it wouldn't been for you being hard on me or everything I've accomplished is because of your guidance and stuff. That's the legacy that I want to leave. The It's never been about me or my coaches. It's always been about the players. But my legacy, just to win the 4 state championships, and hopefully we can win a couple of more, and just to let them know when I walk away from it, I can say that I left it all on the floor.
Alrighty, thanks for having you today, Coach.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. This was good.
All right, just the last question.
Okay.
For the last one,
I got
I'm
you.
gonna ask you. So, Coach, like I said, I think we're headed toward a gold jacket, but that's a little later. What's next for Coach? Do you see yourself doing some other things, moving up to the next level? What's in the future for Coach Dantzler?
I would love to coach college. I got offered a couple of coaching jobs in college, but it has to be the right situation for me. Like I said, one thing about it now, with DJ gone out of high school, and he's ventured off, becoming the young man that he's becoming. I'm more open to even moving to another state, becoming a college coach. So, if that opportunity ever presents itself, I most definitely would jump on it.
Y'all hear that? NCAA, y'all hear that? 4 state championships, 3 city championships, Baltimore City. Come on, I don't know where y'all at. Y'all know what's up with Baltimore City. All right, that's it, good bro.
That's it. Appreciate you.
On behalf of the Crew Channel and the Coach's Corner, I'd like to give you your flowers, because you definitely deserve them.
Thanks, my guy.
But we only can smell them while we're here.
Yep.
And I got a gold whistle for you.
Oh, this is nice.
Yes, sir. Good
Thank
bronze, but I got a gold plated for you. You the man.
Thank you.
Make sure I get a good shot. Good shot of you. There we go. We'd like to present Coach Dantzler with his flowers and the gold whistle on the behalf of the Crew Channel and the Coach's Corner.
Thank you. Appreciate it. My God.
You the man. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Alrighty.